Hey, Coach, we gave you the big contract in the offseason. We brought you in for a reason, to help develop these young guys. But now the stakes got even bigger. The commish just called me. We have the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft. So go out, hire the best scouts, and let's find the next Hall of Famer. Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Indianapolis Arrows franchise here on MLB The Show 23. So far in Season 2, the Arrows just look night and day different from Season 1. Jordan Montgomery and Eric Lauer heading the rotation, and a slew of young guys showing up here at the MLB level to start the season. We start out the season with a couple of nice wins, including a nice one here versus the Minnesota Twins, and we won 4-0, shutting them out. Just think about it. We had a total of 1 shutout the entire year a season ago. Now we go up against them again, and here is Paulo Reyes, one of those young hitters in our lineup, and he hits one to left field. This one gets to the wall, and in the bottom of the 9th inning, Paulo Reyes comes through for his first career walk-off. And the Twins drop 2 to the Arrows here in Indianapolis. And we are off to a great start. A lot of young, exciting players in this organization that we will start to see going forward. But we find out some news. We do win the draft lottery, and we have the number 1 pick in the upcoming MLB draft. We have a lot of season left until the draft, so we have a lot of time to send our best scouts out there and see what's out there. My goal early on is to find a generational prospect. And one thing I need to add to the organization is pitching. We start with Alonso Cortez, a prep pitcher who has some pretty good stuff. Like what he has right now as an 18-year-old is something that I can work with in the future. Now, I'm not sure he's generational, but he's very, very solid here at the top of the draft. The MLB has him ranked number 4. We have him ranked 3. It seems like he's just an all-around pitcher. He doesn't, do anything particularly elite, but everything really good. The next guy I want to look at here is one of the top hitters in all of high school baseball, and a guy that really could end up being the most dominant hitter in all of the draft, and that is the young 18-year-old third baseman running around the bases here, and he doesn't have much speed to him, but he can actually run, and he's a good fielder. Now, one thing about him is that I think he's going to need some development. Greg Olson could end up being the best player in this draft, but I think he's going to come in with a little lower of an overall, so he might take a couple of years to get there. We don't have any film on Douglas Shibuya because he is playing in Japan right now, but our scouts did go out to see him play, and they were kind of impressed, but they think that he's a little bit overrated. He has good contact. He has excellent arm strength in the infield. They actually say he could translate to more of a shortstop, if anything, and he's very, very athletic. We will come back to scouting, but those are the first 3 guys we really look at. But I want to look at the top 50 prospects in baseball and see where our guys line up. Anthony Volpe is number 1, Marcelo Mayer is number 2, and Yuri Perez is number 3 in the MLB pipeline. Johnny Ewing, who got drafted for the Minnesota Twins, is actually tearing the cover off the ball at AA. Surprise, surprise. He was the best college baseball player last year. He's hitting .361, has an OPS over 900 in about 2 weeks of baseball. Ray Gonzalez cracks the top 20. He is actually off to a really good start. The CPU actually moved him up to AAA. I had it on auto for a second on accident. They moved him up to AAA, and actually is hitting pretty well. So I actually might keep him up there. If he starts to struggle, I might move him back down to AA. I want to make his development as easy as possible. So he is number 17 as far as top 50 prospects. Other guys we were looking at in the draft, Douglas Lawson is a top 25 prospect, ranked number 20 here for the Athletics. They have him at A-ball. Tim Leal was one of those guys we were considering with our pick as well. He was available. You see, he is very comparable to Ray Gonzalez, but I like Ray a little bit more. Some other guys here, Ryan Hester went number 2 overall to the Washington Nationals. He's at the AAA level to start out right away. He's not even in the starting rotation out of the bullpen, and he's pitching pretty well. So he is a top 34 prospect as well. And then another guy we were considering with our pick, probably our second round pick, was Babe Miller, but he did not make it past the first round. He was the pitcher out of Penn State. He is actually pitching very, very well so far to start his career, as he is an older prospect, so he came in with a higher overall as well. So 2 new guys to the MLB squad. Maybe we should say 3. Ian Happ is hitting the cover off the ball, 351, 944 OPS as the leadoff hitter. Paulo Reyes is hitting the ball great as well, 333 OPS of 871. And then Seth Beer, 3 of our top new guys coming into the lineup this year are leading our team in average and OPS. So that is an excellent sign for the future of this team. Seth Beer is the oldest. Actually, no, Ian Happ is the oldest of these 3, but Seth Beer is 27, Ian Happ is 29, and then obviously Paulo Reyes is 24. All those guys will have time to develop. Seth Beer, I really, really like. I need to get used to hitting with him. It is kind of a little bit of a adjustment, I think, just dealing with so many different batting stances. But Paulo Reyes is a polished hitter. He gets one over the middle of the plate. He misses that one, but you can't make that mistake often. But here he does check his swing, and they say he does go around. But Paulo Reyes is just a solid hitter, and he's a guy to really just watch out for his development in this series. I really, really liked him a little bit more than Tyrone Johnson, moving him up right away, just because I think he's more of a pure hitter than Johnson is. Johnson's got the home run power. He's got the 40 home run potential. It could happen, but Paulo Reyes, a guy to definitely look out for Rookie of the Year this year. More information comes back from our prospects here. We have Alonso Cortez now fully scouted. Our scouts have him ranked number 3, as MLB has him ranked number 4. As you can see, his walks per 9 could potentially be elite. I trust our scouts here. I do think he's probably the best pitching prospect out of guys we've seen so far. But then we have some other guys here, starting with Guillermo Cortez, who we're starting to scout. He was draft ranked number 18. I just want to make sure I'm not going to miss any generational guys, so I'm really scouting the top 18-year-olds early on in the season. So he is the first. He has excellent contact. He's going to be a really, really good hitter. And I do like what I see. Now, is he number 1 pick worthy? I'm not so sure, and I don't think so. But if he drops to our second round pick, he's definitely going to be in consideration for that pick at number 35. We have 35 and 38 this year as well. And then Andres Villafuerte is going to be another guy that's really, really high ranked in the MLB rankings, but low with us. Now, for some reason, our scouts have him at 46. I disagree with this ranking because this kid can absolutely rake. And he is a huge kid too. Like, he is big for a 18-year-old. Like, he is massive. And one thing I like about him is that he actually has some wheels. Like, he can run for a first baseman, but I do want to do my due diligence and look at other guys. Like Ray Ramirez here. He is the projected number 1 overall pick. He is a 4-year junior. We will take a look at him, send a scout out to see him. And there are some late guys here that I do need to draft to make sure I draft all rounds, not just the number 1 pick. So Darryl McGill is a guy that I'm going to send some scouts to see. He has 91 potential. Looks like that's his ceiling, but we'll see. I'm not going to, rule anybody out, but we'll see what happens with a lot of these guys. Like Brandon Rodriguez, for example, we scouted him a little bit. He dropped down from draft rank number 2 in the MLB to 43, but I actually disagree with that. Like, I would probably put him in the teens because he's going to be a B potential, and he's going to be between 66 and 72 overall. Yes, he's going to be 23, but I kind of compare him to Miller out of Penn State last year. That could be like a comparable guy coming into the draft. He was drafted at number 17, I believe. So a couple of roster moves as we get out of the scouting phase here. Jack Suwinski is hitting the ball terribly, but below 200. He needs to get some at-bats at AAA, just get his bat going. Then I decided to go back to Pat Washington. For some reason, always hits well at AAA. He's hitting 275. I need to see that at the MLB level, but we will give him another shot. I don't expect him to be a long-term starter, more of a bench guy, so we will give him the opportunity to play. So we advance on some more. We end up getting some decent wins here, including the first sweep of the series, really, versus the Chicago White Sox. We beat them 5-4, 6-3, and 3-1. You see our pitching is coming through for us. We're pulling out these close games as well, but we continue to win. We are 17-21, very, very competitive here. As now we get to the St. Louis series, we end up beating them in the first game 5-1. Then we end up dropping 4-5. But we are right here 18-22. Like, this is a competitive Indianapolis Aeros team. And we are really shocking the MLB, I think, at this point. We are definitely that surprise team. And now we go up against St. Louis, where Jordan Montgomery gets to pitch against his former team for the first time here in this series. We will see if we can steal game number 3 of this 3-game set. Both teams have split so far, and we will face Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola replaces Jordan Montgomery in the rotation here for St. Louis. So now it's ace versus ace. So here we go. We are at Independence Field. Wow, Victory Field, as that one will be Ian Happ, who misses a pitch right over the middle of the plate. That brings up Tapia in the 2-hole. That one will be a tapper in front of the catcher. And here's Paulo Reyes hitting greats, but he cannot make contact with that outside fastball. Good location. Aaron Nola gets through the lineup 1-2-3. Top 2, here is Jordan Montgomery doing his thing as well. He's pitching well so far this year, as he faces Brendan Donovan now with runners on first and second. Ground ball right back to him, and he's through the first 3 innings with no damage done. Seth Beer comes to the plate now. He's hitting the ball extremely well to start his career with Indianapolis, but that one will just be a hard liner to short. Thrown on the first for the out. Francisco Mejia to the plate, and he will watch a sinker inside. That one should have been swung on. But instead, we get to the 5th. No hits here for the Aeros so far. But Joe Taikon could change that deep to center field. It's caught. It's going to be run down there as we get to 2 outs. Brandon Crawford to the plate, the veteran. Oh, he drives one deep to left field. This one back at the wall, and it's caught as well. So 2 big, deep fly balls for the Aeros, but no hits to show for. As we move on to the bottom of the 6th inning, here is Liover Peguero at the plate, and he will break up the no-no with a flare to right field. And that will get us going here in this game for the first hit. And Peguero, remember, was just the throw-in guy in the Jack Suwinski trade. Ian Happ to the plate. The runner is on the move, and Happ gets a hit down the right field line. Stringing together a couple of hits are the Aeros, and now we have runners on the corners here with Raimel Tapia, who led our team in average last year, coming to the plate. 0 for 2 in this one. He turns on one. This is going to be a gapper. It gets to the wall. It definitely scores 1, and it should score 2. Tapia rounding second, heading to third, and he will be safe. A 2 RBI triple for Raimel Tapia, his 5th of the year. This is a triples ballpark if you hit it to the gap. You got to be on your horse, but he gets there, and it's now 2-0 as Aaron Nola will get pulled from the game. He pitched an excellent game up until this inning, though, as they bring in Steven Matz out of the bullpen, who's actually pitching better versus left-handers than right. He faces Paulo Reyes at the plate, and that one will be a pitch on the corner, and Reyes just takes it for strike 3. That brings up Seth Beer to the plate. Fly ball to short left field. This one's caught, but look at Raimel Tapia tagging up. That's just heads-up baseball. He knew the shortstop would not have momentum to throw home, and Tapia has the speed to beat it out. Francisco Mejia continues this inning, but it's just a ground ball to second, and we do get 3 in the 6th. Bottom 7 now. Here's Brandon Crawford at the plate. He had a deep fly ball to left field, but this one will just be a double play here. But we do have a man on third base here with Peguero, who did break up that no-no in the 6th. Steven Matz delivers outside, and that one will be a swinging strike 3. We move on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. Pat Washington at the plate, and he will draw a walk. So we do get an extra run of insurance here in the 8th inning, and it's still bases loaded with Ojo Taikon, one of those exciting rookies we have. This one gets to the backstop, and we will send the runner home. And Seth Beer with 41 speed cannot get there. He's thrown out. Why did he slide like that? If he would have slid head first, that was an easy run across the plate as we move on to the 9th inning. Here's R.G. Bradley, who pitched an excellent season last year as our closer. He comes in. This one isn't quite a save, but with the 4-run lead. Here is Paul Goldschmidt, who just continues to hit the ball well and throughout his career. That one's going to be a hit up the middle. Andrew Benintendi comes to the plate, and he hits one up the middle as well. That one will get all the way to the wall. Pat Washington lets it roll all the way to the fence, and it will be a triple here as the throw is not in time, barely not in time to get Benintendi. But an RBI triple, keeping this St. Louis Cardinals team alive. But Bradley settles down. That's Tyler O'Neill with the inside fastball. He can't keep up. That brings up Juan Yepes to the plate, 1 for 3 in this one, and he drives this one deep to left field. Could the Cardinals get back within 1 run? They don't. It's over, 4-1. And that's a great victory for the Arrows. We beat the Cardinals 2 out of 3. This was a Cardinals team who had been 9 games over 500 at this point as well. And we get the victory. 4-1 here in this matchup. We get 6 hits, but we string together enough in a row in the 6th inning to get 3 runs, and that was enough for the victory. So in the month of May, we play some pretty good teams at the end of the month. So we play San Diego, Houston, and we play Tampa Bay as well. So really we had to get the winning out of the way early because we got some tough matchups coming up. But we are really, really surprising. You can see the team rankings on the right-hand side. We are 29th ranked, 24th, 30th in power, 29th in pitching, 29th in defense, 26th in speed. But somehow we have a better record than 60% of the teams in our division, which is pretty awesome. So we'll see what happens next episode as we get through the month of May into the month of June. And then we near the draft. We'll look at some more draft prospects as well. So you don't want to miss that. Hit subscribe. Hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.